I go and make the stuff. I provide the money. She does.
Steve Harvey's story begins not with fame or fortune, but with the haunting echo of poverty and ridicule. Born in Welch, West Virginia in 1957, he was the youngest of 5 children in a family that worked hard yet barely survived. His father labored in coal mines. His mother taught school, stretching every dollar. When they moved to Cleveland, Steve's stutter and poverty made him an easy target for laughter. Not the kind he would later command, but the kind that cut deep. The most painful moment came when his teacher tore up his essay that said, "I want to be on TV." That act of cruelty could have crushed him, but his father's faith reignited the dream. Every night, Steve read that promise to himself. Years later, the same dream mocked by a teacher became the force that built an empire, proving that humiliation can ignite greatness. The birth of a dream. After graduating in 1974, Steve Harvey worked countless odd jobs: mail carrier, carpet cleaner, insurance salesman, even a boxer. But none of them could quiet the whisper inside him, "You're meant for more." In 1985, he stepped onto a small comedy stage in Cleveland for the first time. The crowd's laughter was electric. It felt like being born again. That $50 gig changed everything. He quit his job and decided to chase comedy full-time. But dreams demand sacrifice, and his came brutally. For 3 long years, Harvey lived in his car, washing up in gas stations, surviving on sandwiches, and clinging to faith when the world offered none. Yet, even in those years of hunger and humiliation, he refused to let go. His father's words, "Read your dream morning and night," became his lifeline. That unwavering belief turned every hardship into fuel for his future success. Breakthrough and stardom. After years of grinding through open mics and tiny clubs, Steve Harvey's big break arrived in 1990 when he became a finalist in the Johnny Walker National Comedy Search. The man who once stuttered in class now stood before roaring applause. Soon after, Showtime at the Apollo welcomed him as host, and Harvey turned the stage into his sanctuary. For 7 years, he brought laughter to Harlem, proving that pain could become performance. Then came The Steve Harvey Show, 1996 to 2002, a sitcom that became a cornerstone of American TV, followed by the Kings of Comedy Tour, a defining cultural moment alongside Cedric the Entertainer, D.L. Hewley, and Bernie Mac. At last, the world saw what Harvey's father had seen decades earlier, not a stuttering boy, but a king of comedy. Yet even as fame arrived, the price was steep. Long hours, exhaustion, and the growing distance between success and personal peace. The cost of ambition. Behind the laughter, Steve Harvey's personal life was unraveling. His first marriage to Marcia, the woman who stood by him through poverty, collapsed under the weight of his relentless ambition. With 3 children, Brandy, Carly, and Broderick Jr., Harvey struggled to balance fatherhood and fame. The long nights on the road, the missed birthdays, and the empty chairs at dinner took their toll. By 1994, the marriage ended in quiet heartbreak. Years later, he would admit with deep regret, "I lost my family chasing the dream." The divorce left emotional scars that fame could not heal. It was a painful lesson that success without presence can feel like failure. Yet, Harvey carried this guilt forward as a silent teacher, a reminder that even legends must learn the hard truth. No stage, no applause, no trophy is worth losing the people who love you unconditionally. Scandal, divorce, and public humiliation. In 1996, Harvey remarried Mary Shackelford, hoping for a second chance at love. They shared a son, Winton, and for a while, life seemed peaceful. But as his fame soared, cracks began to appear. Long work hours and constant travel strained the relationship, and by 2005, their marriage dissolved into one of the most public and painful divorces in Hollywood. Mary's accusations made headlines, tarnishing his image. Court battles, custody fights, and endless scrutiny followed. Harvey later called it the darkest period of my life. What hurt most wasn't the press. It was losing precious time with his young son. Yet, through the chaos, Harvey leaned on faith instead of bitterness. He used the humiliation as a teacher, learning humility and resilience in the harshest way possible. The man who once feared homelessness now faced emotional ruin, but once again, he refused to stay down. The $1,700 miracle and the IRS nightmare. As if divorce and scandal weren't enough, Harvey soon discovered that his accountants had failed to file his taxes for 7 years. The penalties, interest, and debt added up to millions. When he checked his account, only $1,700 remained. The man who had conquered television was nearly broke again and terrified. But Steve Harvey didn't collapse. He fought back the only way he knew how, through work. He took on radio, writing, stand-up, anything that could help him survive. His morning show became a beacon of hope, even as he battled exhaustion and fear. Each joke he told was a prayer for survival. Slowly, through sheer discipline and faith, he repaid his debts. When Family Feud came calling in 2010, it marked not just a comeback, but a resurrection. The man who once lived in a car was now America's favorite host, proof that faith can rebuild what failure destroys. Redemption through love. In 2005, while broken and rebuilding, fate reintroduced Steve Harvey to Marjorie Bridges, a woman he had met years earlier. This time, she didn't just enter his life, she transformed it. They married in 2007, and Harvey credits her for giving him peace after decades of chaos. 85% of everything I have came after I married her, he once said, not referring to wealth, but to joy. Together, they blended their families into one, raising 7 children with love and discipline. Marjorie steadied him, teaching him rest, faith, and gratitude. The most emotional moment came in 2015, when her son Jason publicly thanked Steve for giving him his last name, calling him Dad. Harvey broke down in tears. A man once haunted by family loss, now redeemed through love. For Steve, Marjorie was not just a partner, she was God's answer to every unanswered prayer. The Empire of Reinvention. Today, Steve Harvey stands as one of the most versatile and influential figures in global entertainment. From Family Feud and Celebrity Family Feud, to the Steve Harvey Morning Show and best-selling books like Act Like a Lady, Think Like a Man, he has turned resilience into an empire. Through Steve Harvey Global, he's expanded his influence across Africa, bringing localized versions of Family Feud to South Africa and Ghana. He also co-founded the health brand Levate You, focusing on vitality and longevity, proof that his vision now extends far beyond comedy. Every venture reflects the same lesson he learned as a boy: never depend on one stream when you can create many. His career now isn't about chasing fame, it's about legacy, building something that will stand long after the laughter fades. The weight of success and the power of healing. Behind the lavish mansions, designer suits, and viral fashion moments lies a man still haunted by the past. Harvey admits the number $1,700 still echoes in his mind, a reminder of how fragile security can be. Health issues like high blood pressure and sleep apnea have become his new battles, but he meets them with the same discipline that saved his life before. His mansion in Atlanta, once Tyler Perry's estate, is less a symbol of wealth than of stability, a home where family laughter replaces the silence of hotel rooms. In quiet moments, Harvey reflects on his journey, not as a rise to fame, but as a climb toward peace. His greatest joy isn't television ratings or awards. It's dinner tables filled with children and grandchildren, and the knowledge that he finally became the man his father always believed he could be. Legacy of faith and resilience. Steve Harvey's life is not a story of perfection, but of perseverance. From stuttering schoolboy to global icon, his path has been carved by struggle, faith, and redemption. Every loss of love, money, reputation became a lesson that forged his character. He turned ridicule into rhythm, failure into foundation, and pain into purpose. Today, he uses his platform to inspire millions, reminding them that no scar is final and that God's grace never arrives too late. The man who once slept in a car now stands as a patriarch, philanthropist, and mentor, proof that resilience is stronger than luck. As Harvey often says, applause fades, trophies gather dust, but faith, family, and gratitude, these are what last. His journey is not just entertainment history, it is living testimony that even the most broken dreams can still come true.